You know that situation where you promise yourself that you're gonna do something and then you never get to doing it? This is something that has been happening in many areas of my life for quite some time now. There was a conversation that we've been wanting to have for the longest time now, and we said we're gonna do it today. So as we approached the end of the day, we were about to have our night routine and like get in bed and do some other things that we do together, and the conversation still didn't come up throughout the whole day. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of having the talk about the talk, but never having the talk, if that makes sense. So I decided to be like, I'm done waiting. Let's just do it here and now. And then guess what happened? We talked. It took like 5-10 minutes. And the conversation that we've been meaning to have for the longest time now is now checked off the list. And it literally took 5-10 minutes to talk about it, and that kind of blows my mind how we've been postponing something that grew to feel much more scary in our minds than it really is or it had to be. And it literally took 5-10 minutes to touch on that topic and be like, okay, this is it, whatever, done. I thought about the build-up, how scary the build-up was, waiting for the conversation, thinking about having the conversation for no reason at all really, because it's only a conversation that needs to be had in order to improve your relationship and improve your life. If anything, we should have been excited for it and kind of look forward to it because it's an opportunity to change something for the better, but we were avoiding it for the longest time. And now that we had it, it's like, yeah, cool, we're on the same page. Let's do it. And that's it. It's really, I don't know, funny, scary, sad, shocking to see that this thing that we've been avoiding has grew to be that kind of giant monster in our heads where it really didn't need to be. This makes me think how if I hadn't decided that I'm done with waiting and postponing that conversation months and months and months again, we still would be in the same cycle until I would have, or he would have, decided to break the cycle. So I guess my point is that I broke that cycle today and I said, let's actually talk. And then as simply as that, the thing is done and we don't need to worry about it again. And I saw how easy it really is to just do the thing instead of worrying about the thing. It made me think about free will and the routines that we get stuck into. Postponing things because we are scared of them in the first place makes them much scarier in the long run, just because we don't do them right away. So 2 things. 1, we all have free will and we can use it to achieve our dreams, to work on our goals instead of getting stuck in the routines. And 2, things get more scary, more overwhelming and more intimidating the more we postpone them and the more we put them off, or the more excuses we find to not do them. That's big, huh? It feels big. Thinking about this made me want to ask you guys, how do you think you can use your free will today? Because literally there's nothing, absolutely nothing stopping us from taking action towards working on our dreams and reaching for the things that we want to have in our life. There's literally nothing stopping us from that except our fears, our routines, and the kind of patterns that we get stuck in, the cycles that we get stuck in. So I guess I kind of want to record it to remind myself and you that you're watching that we all have free will and we are not using it on a daily basis because, I don't know, we forget, because we are programmed not to do it, because we are programmed to be stuck in the routines and follow the familiar patterns. You know The Sims, the game, The Sims. It's a life simulation. You have your characters and you tell them what to do with their lives. Unless you toggle a certain setting on, your Sims have no or very little free will, which means that they can't really do what they want. And I feel like this is what happens with all of us who get stuck in our cycles and routines and the monotony of daily life. We are kind of acting accordingly to the routines that we have stuck in our heads, and we rarely deviate from them because it feels scary and overwhelming and illegal even sometimes. For example, there are things that we all want to achieve, that we keep thinking and dreaming about, but that we then end up never taking any action towards. For me, personally, the big dream and goal that I had for the longest time now that I haven't been taking action towards because of millions of excuses that I've been finding along the way is the fact that I want to build my platform and create content and record my thoughts like I do now when I allow my true self to come through in a free flow mode, free flow state. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my latest video, then you're gonna know. One of my dreams and goals was to let that real me that is reflective and introspective and self-aware and all of that come through and share that part of me with the world, because that's where I feel like the most myself. But I haven't been doing that because of finding other excuses and being scared to let that self out, or feeling like I have to put a show on for the camera or sound perfect. So for example, this realization that I'm talking about now about the free will and how scary things get the more we postpone them, I took a note again in my Holy Shit Moments note collective, and guess what I wanted to do? I wanted to postpone having this conversation with myself and with you until tomorrow, because
it's 10 p.m. because my partner is making music, so he was playing the speakers, so it would be too loud and I couldn't record without you overhearing the music, because I'm tired, because it's late, because I don't have makeup on, whatever.
Excuses, excuses, excuses. At least I don't have my blue hoodie on today, that's an exception, but still. This video right now and the previous videos are me attempting to show myself that I can and that I must work on my goals daily, right in the moment, when the inspiration hits and when I'm having these emotional moments, rather than waiting, because I already know what would happen if I postponed recording this and recording my realization until tomorrow. I would never end up recording it. Ever. And it's really crazy if you think about it, because again, I'm going to say the same thing for the millionth time, but there's literally nothing stopping us from using our free will to do things in the moment. Since we have goals and dreams and plans and visions that we would like to experience, this means that there is something that we are not entirely satisfied in our current daily life and daily routine. The thing with how our mind works is that we are predisposed and pre-programmed to be seeking these routines and getting stuck in the comfortable. Changing our situation and changing our habits and changing the patterns that we follow is not a comfortable thing, because it involves change and it involves some uncomfortable conversations, or it involves us doing something that we are not so used to, which means that it's scary. But the result of taking these scary steps is always our situation improving or changing in one way or another. And isn't that the final goal? To change our situation, to work on our goals and progress towards what we really want in life, even one small step at a time. Shouldn't that be the final goal, rather than getting comfortable just because we are scared to take a step forward towards something scary and uncomfortable that could inevitably help us get closer to what we really want? If there's one thing that you can take from this video, let it be this. Take an example from me, seeing how I'm taking steps towards my goal, which is building my platform of like-minded people and sharing my real thoughts and real self with the world, like I always wanted to do. Take an inspiration from that and see how, even though I was
freaking scared
when pressing record on the camera, I still did it. And once again, now honestly, I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling much more happy. I feel satisfied that I took a step towards my goal, that I got another video recorded, and that I broke out of my pattern of postponing things until another date when the circumstances are better. Maybe it's the perfectionist in me that I keep wanting for things to be better than they actually need to be, because I don't know, realistically, do I really need to have a perfect setup and perfect look and perfect time of the day and perfect light to record my real thoughts and share them with all of you? Not really. I think I can just talk and chat, and the external packaging doesn't really change anything. It could even distract if we are being so drastic about it, but realistically, it doesn't really change anything. So if there's one thing that you can take from this, is please see that yes, it is scary to take action towards our goals, and it is scary to break out of our routine. You think that you would like to take action towards your goal, but then you think you're gonna do it tomorrow. these cycles, patterns are only really keeping us safe in the routine that we've built so far. But since all of us have dreams and goals that we all want to work on, and I know you do because I see all the comments that have happened under my recent few videos, I want to remind you that your routines is what is keeping you stuck, and that you have the free will to change your situation and today take action towards your goal, whatever it is, whatever it may be. And as a bonus, I will show you one example of how I use my free will recently, even though it's fucking stupid, so please don't judge me, but this was my way of showing myself that I have free will and that I can use it however the fuck I want. And I suggest you do something similar. Think of doing something as silly as possible, just for the sake of why not. How can you use your free will today? This was my example of using my free will today, even though I was fucking scared. Again, recording my thoughts, sharing my realization with you, recording my holy shit moment in the form of a video rather than a short, dry-ass note that I'm gonna forget in a few days' time. But now, having the video, I can recall it, I can relive it, I can learn from it again, and feel happy and proud of myself that I did it. That's it.